Hi, this is Marie Kobzer. I'm a real estate broker here in Oregon, and in today's episode, we're talking about earthquake insurance. So, my guest is Troy Noland. Hi, Troy.
Hi, Marie. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, no problem. Troy, can you tell us a little bit about you
Yes,
for
my name
those
is
who have
Troy
not
Noland.
seen the other video?
Yeah, that's good. My name is Troy Noland. I'm an agent with Farmers Insurance Group here in the Portland area. I've been with Farmers for 27 years now, and so we specialize in personal lines insurance, um, marketing to middle income and high net worth clients.
One of the policies that have become more prevalent, I guess, in our market in the last few years is earthquake insurance.
Yes,
And it's a product that you do offer, correct?
it is a product that we do offer, and I'm actually a big fan of earthquake insurance. As you know, living in the Northwest here, we are definitely in what I would call a quake zone. Having said that, I will also say that roughly only 15% of homeowners actually carry earthquake insurance, and so it's definitely an untapped market and an exposure that I think many people have not really addressed yet as far as homeowners insurance goes.
Yes, and I'm one of those
Yeah.
because Troy is actually my agent and he nudges me regularly. Yes, I think it's a little scary to consider, first of all, to think about that risk. And there's always a scare of, oh my gosh, it sounds expensive, right?
Um, Yeah, that's a good question. So, relatively speaking, I don't really think it's that expensive. Not if you compare to California prices and things like that. And so, there's a couple things that I always tell people. One, it's affordable in my opinion, and two, there's ways to adjust that so it makes it more affordable. You can change your deductible limits, for example, and so there are options out there to be able to make that more affordable for everyone. The other thing is that most people, to be honest, have not taken the time to read their homeowner's insurance policy, and they unfortunately believe that earthquake is automatically included under their policy, and that is not the case. It's an endorsement that needs to be added to your policy, um, and obviously there's a premium for that. But in my opinion, it's probably the most important coverage you can add onto your policy after all the coverages that are typically included.
Okay. So what would be a next step if someone watching this video right now, what is the next step for them to look at? Is it to read their policy or call their agent?
Yeah, I would say either one of those. Read your policy and contact your agent and find out whether you have the coverage on there. Secondly, find out what it's going to cost to add that coverage if you do not have it. And
We
then the
just
other.
lost you. We lost the sound for a bit.
Okay.
Sorry. So let's start again. So
Okay.
when we were talking about what is the next best step, go ahead.
Yeah, the next best step is obviously one, to review your policy, and two, and contact your agent if you have an agent, and have them do a review for you so you can address all your coverages, not just earthquake insurance, but your dwelling limits, personal property limits, etc. So and there's a couple important issues that you need to address with earthquake. For example, traditionally most carriers used to cover, in addition to the earthquake insurance and covering your dwelling, they would also extend that coverage to your personal belongings, as well as loss of use coverage, which is essentially putting you up someplace to live if your home is damaged and unlivable. What has happened over the years is that companies have really narrowed their coverages down to most of them actually being at what we refer to as a dwelling only policy now, and not extending any coverage to personal belongings, and in some cases not to loss of use either. We are fortunate that we have teamed with a carrier out there called Palomar Insurance, and not only do they cover your dwelling, but they extend coverage to your separate structures, to your personal belongings, as well as loss of use. The other important thing with that is that traditionally most carriers use a 10% deductible. So just standard math, if you had a $400,000 dwelling, you would have a $40,000 deductible in the case of an earthquake. Palomar actually goes as low as 2.5% and as high as 25%. So they give you a much broader range to choose as far as deductibles. And that 10% deductible has always been a hurdle for people psychologically to look at that and think, man, that's a big deductible. I don't even know if I could pay my deductible if I have a claim. With Palomar, we do have that option to go to 2.5%, which makes it much
Totally. Yes.
reasonable, I think, for people to be able to address that issue if they happen to have a loss.
Well, you made some really good points. I didn't think about personal property. I didn't think about loss of use, and it's those are important pieces when you're in the middle of a crisis.
Yes.
You need to address that. Okay, well, thank you so much for this information. I'm sure a lot of people will be thinking about this differently now. I certainly am.
Yeah.
And up to the next question. I'll reach out to you with our next topic later. Thank you
Okay. I just
so
want to,
much, Troy.
yeah,
Yes,
and
you want to add
I,
something?
yeah, I just want to add one more thing with our earthquake insurance. The policy we write is what we call a standalone policy. So we are not required to have the homeowner's insurance in order to issue the earthquake insurance for you. So if you have clients out there who, to be honest, don't want to switch from their current carrier or have a good relationship there, but don't have a good earthquake market, we're more than happy to put a policy in place for them without having to insure the home with the traditional hazard insurance policy as well.
So okay, so they can just shop for that earthquake insurance,
Yes,
and you offer a very competitive, actually you did send me a quote and it was quite competitive, so I can speak to that personally. And it's interesting that you don't have to bring everything with you. It just, that
that
can
is
be
correct.
that standalone policy on top of everything else. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Troy.
All right. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.